It's about time we worked on this thing again. We're back with me black FG Falcon Freddy with a bar in it. If you don't know the car, I have done some footage of it. Still had a lean spot.
That's better.
What do we make?
621.
Hey!
622.
We're in the 620 club.
Oh, darkness, my old friend.
Give it all, Bobby! And it's about time I punched out 1,000 horsepower with it. What did we get to? 620 kilowatts so far. I fixed the spark issue, then haven't really driven it again. So I got to fix, the turbo was leaking just on the T4 flange at the back here. This is the turbo on it, Borg Warner. SXC 369. So pulled that off and I'll flatten that with a hone stone. It's got a slight bend in it and you can see it's been leaking out the back. And I'm taking off the vernier cam gears. I'm gonna go back to dual cam control through the ECU. This still runs a stock ECU with PCM Tech, tuned by myself. So I'm taking them off and I'm gonna put stock cam gears back on it, basically, is the plan. I wanna get more mid-range, more drivability, and then, yeah, play with the cam timing in the top end for power. So that's the plan. If I have already started and then thought, why aren't I filming this? Not really much to see. More, I guess I'm just showing you what I'm up to. So when I road tuned again and put it on the dyno, you know what I've been up to. Nice with that stayed on there. These are Atomic Performance vernier gears. They are needed for bigger cams. This does have different cams to stock in it, but I don't think these cams are too big that these stock ones won't control it. So we'll find out. I still have these. Might pull them apart to clean them because I've been sitting around a little bit. Man, this thing just doesn't quite want to be straightforward for me. The tensioner seemed a bit odd when I pulled it apart. And then the tensioner piece, the main cylinder, pushed out and fell out. And I did catch it, well, stopped it falling fully out into the crank. Yeah, like into the sump, because that would have sucked. So I grabbed a spare tensioner, there's a crap one there, and here's a decent one here. And look, it doesn't fall out when it's just sitting there chilling. And it, whoopsies. And it works on a ratchet. So if you hold this, it pushes in, you let go, it clicks. Okay, so it'll go one click out, then push against with the timing chain, and it'll keep doing that. You can imagine that's what it does. The hydraulic pressure also pushes on it to put tension. So yeah, hydraulic tensioner basically with mechanical spring. Looking at what's in my car and comparing the two, this is definitely in better condition. This one is definitely busted. I looked a bit further, the teeth on this ratchet, once I pull it apart I'll show you, the teeth on that are stuffed. The bottom one is none good. So it's had a bit of a hard life, that tensioner. So I've got to pull it off and fix it. Now, as you can see, timing cover's on. To do this job properly, I've got to pull the belt off, pull the tension off, water pump would stay, pull the harmonic off, pull radiator and crap out, to pull the timing cover off, to pull off the tensioner. As you can imagine, I don't really want to do that. Like, I really don't want to do that. So I'm trying to pull the tensioner out in situ. So I've got the bolts off here. It's 8mm. I flattened my 8mm spanner so I can get in there on this. And then I'm up to using the open end. And it is coming. Next issue being, I think the bolt length is just too long and they hit the timing cover as it pulls out. Probably good that I found it because I'm about to work this thing and push on it pretty hard. So it's good to find issues. I just didn't want to have to change things. Anywho, I'll work on it. Well, this is proper close to coming out. Now Daniel, you know Dan, he's been on the channel. He's like, I don't reckon you'll get it, which was enough that I needed to try and get it, basically. And it is close. I've put rags all in here for when I drop stuff. Like, that is close coming out. I reckon I'll get that. Oh, I got it. It is. It was so close. Like, literally, that non-threaded piece is the bit that was holding it in. I did have to crack it. Like, that's how close it was. I had to crack the timing cover that much. So I'll see if I can goop in there. I'll do it up. Worst case, it's gonna leak like a sieve and I have to pull it off anyway. But I've come this far. I gotta try it because I hate pulling the timing cover off. I've done it too many times. This bit is what holds the shaft on the teeth. And as you can see, that bottom one especially is stuffed and the top one is not much better. A good one looks like that. Nice and sharp. Yeah, so that's stuffed. The first one I've seen stuffed, like actual proper stuffed. Well, there you go. That one's done. So I've ran a stone over it with some sandpaper and got it all nice and flat again, so that's pretty good now, I think. That one was a little bit out and the turbo was even more so, really. I don't normally run a flange gasket, but I'm going to try it on this one. Normally I make them both flat surfaces and they're good, but this one seemed to be drama lately, and it is a stainless manifold on a standard cast flange, so maybe that's the difference. This is a Borg Warner 369. Nearly got confused with another one on the Pintara. Borg Warner 369, so 69mm front wheel, 80mm rear. Pretty big rear, that's why hopefully I think it'll flow enough to crack 1,000 horsepower just. Hasn't been high float or anything fancy. She's just off the shelf. Starting to make progress. Turbo's back on. Sitting pretty. Look at that. And back to factory variable valve timing. These fit way better to the chain as well, like the factory sprocket, much better. We better see that it starts and runs. I better data log and do it properly with a laptop. I was about to just start it and I was like, I better make the changes to suit what I've done mechanically. It's got an exhaust leak. You can hear that already. I'm gonna say it's out of the V-band though. That didn't go together real well either. It's running well. It's good. What is going on here? I might make a tune change. Yeah, that was my fault. I'd made some changes for cold start just because I was in it and I hadn't played with cold start much on this car. Here is the cold fuel table, all in lambda, so point something, that doesn't focus. Anyway, 0.98 lambda, let's say. I made a change to make it the same across the board. Instead of it being stock, these try and warm up when they're cold, so they'll lean them out a little bit. I want it rich because it's on E85. Instead of 0.98 lambda, I made it 98 lambda. I thought it seemed a bit off. It was targeting a very lean mixture. Let's go again. And look at that, staying running. And I have a grouse exhaust leak there, but nothing on that one. Ah, nice and quiet. I reckon it probably is quieter. You just hit the pistons and that's it. I'll fix that dump pipe, not a big deal. We've got oil pressure and we got 60% ethanol at the moment. Fuel pressure, lambda's sitting pretty good. The 1650s aren't too bad for cold. Lip, 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 lip. Happy. Let's go for a drive. Oh, this thing is ready.